Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Peculiar Women Podcast, where we talk truth with the world's most peculiar women. I'm your host, Serina Stewart, and you can find me on all social media platforms at Serena's Lens. So join me there. And please take a moment. If you're on YouTube, to like this video. I'm not sure how you interact and engage if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, but definitely please like the video so that we can get our engagement up on YouTube. And I appreciate it. Today, Mo is in the building and Quinn again as our co host. I'm excited about it. Guys, can you say hello?
Hey.
And in our last episode, of course, we talked about relationships and how you are one of the key elements to a thriving relationship. So pouring back into yourself and giving from your giving of yourself from a place of overflow creates a very healthy environment for amazing relationships. So if you need a refresher, please feel free to go back and enjoy that episode. We cut up a little bit and we had a great time. So yeah, go check it out. But on to today's topic. Today's topic is friendships with purpose. And this was very close to you, Quinn. So I'm going to cut to you in a little bit, but there should be a wholeness in every aspect of our life and in our friendships. They're no different with that. Great friendships can broaden your scope. Great friendships can bring you wisdom, knowledge, understanding, education, and all kinds of fun and joy that you definitely need in your life. You know, you wouldn't have the privilege of that otherwise without some friendships. Um, and I'll just defer to Quinn right now. How do you, first of all, identify uh, friendships with purpose? Because there is a difference.
I think a friendship with purpose has growth. There's vision. And when I say growth and vision, even if, because no, I don't think many people see somebody and be like, oh, yeah, I want to be her friend because
'Cause
we
you
probably
don't
have
know.
purpose.
Yeah.
But it develops.
Mhm.
You edify each other. The Bible talks about the blessings of the Lord making rich and adding no sorrow.
Oh,
And
that's
by
so
no
good.
sorrow, it doesn't mean that you're not going to have conflict,
Mhm.
but you're able to work through it and grow from it.
Mhm,
And I
mhm.
think that's if I were to define it in one word, it definitely would be growth.
So identifying, let me ask you this. Do you have to put yourself in certain environments to look for a purposeful friend?
I think you can. I don't think you have to, because I
Yeah.
think, well, you can pray and then do your part. You can't like be in the house all the
True.
time praying for
True.
good friends.
Yeah.
But I think you can put yourself in certain environments. I don't think it's necessary.
Mhm.
But I think if you're looking for friends,
Mhm.
a certain type of friend, you go to the places where those friends are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And you have to be bold with it too, because like you said, nobody's going to go, "Hey, I'm looking for a friend," or "Hey,"
right.
but a lot of times there are people around us that we're just not taking advantage of that friendship. Like they may be associates, or they just may be just people that you haven't thought of, and the person is trying to make do more or whatever, but it has to be organic. So I don't really know the formula. I don't know that there is a formula, but when you're around people um and they show interest, in the sense of you see them pushing with purpose, you see them about their business, you see them making moves, you see them doing things that you admire, those are people that could potentially have purpose in your life. um Growth in those particular situations are inevitable, because they'll expand your scope, like I said a little bit earlier, and what you don't know, they may know. And it's almost like it's not covenant, but it's almost like even covenant friendships kind of with purpose, because where you're lacking, they'll you
They'll
know,
pick up the slack.
yeah, they'll pick up that slack.
I would also encourage people to talk to people that they wouldn't normally talk to. Some of the coolest people I've found have been people that I was totally opposite. You know, when we search for friendships, sometimes we tend to look for people that look like us or seem to have the same interests.
Yeah.
But I like quote unquote weird people, and I will find the person that's quiet and just really don't want to be bothered. And I get that because I'm an introvert, but then I pick on other introverts. It's the weirdest thing. Is that bullying?
Because you have an introvert with an extrovert personality.
Yeah. And people have a hard time believing that I'm an introvert, but I'm a major introvert.
Right.
But I'll pick that person that's quiet, that nobody's talking to, and I'll just go start cracking jokes or whatever. And a lot of times they are the coolest, smartest people, and they have such great vision for things. And I'm going, you were sitting on all of that? And if I hadn't come over here picking on you, we would have never known. So.
Yes, I'm glad you said that, because I did want to get at how you can, be assertive a little bit in that. It doesn't mean that you have to be weird about it,
right?
But if there's an opportunity, take the opportunity. Just like God blesses you with things, with material things, and you pray and ask for that, He can bless you with people that will pour into you. But Quinn, I like that suggestion that you just gave about, just moving on. If you see somebody, just stepping out of your comfort zone, because it's kind of vulnerable, but the person may pick up on that, and then you never know, because in 3 years, y'all might be at a place where y'all the best of friends. But I love that you can identify friendship by someone who can show vision or purpose, or somebody that's already moving toward that way. That's great. That's great. And you mentioned that we shouldn't be quick to discard a relationship like that. What do you mean with that?
Yeah, because sometimes conflict will come, and if it gets a little uncomfortable, you're like, you know what, I'm done with this, especially if it's been something that's reoccurring. But if there's been more growth than setting you back or stressing you out, because I don't believe in having relationships that stress you out and you seem to be going more down than up. But if there's been more growth, if you've seen change, even if y'all used to fight all the time and disagree all the time, and now y'all don't disagree with as much, that's growth. And so we shouldn't be so quick to discard relationships that are progressing, because it could stop progress for both of y'all, really, if there's purpose, if there's really vision. Some bridges we need to burn, but then there are some that, like if there's growth, like I said, don't discard that when there's purpose.
I have a quick question about that. So it sounds like you're referring to, I guess, relationships that are cultivated over time, like longer term relationships. What would you say about like short term relationships, or even like younger people who haven't really had the time to cultivate long relationships and like judge it based off of a long period? What if it's just like, I don't know, somebody we meet up with to just get brunch with, or and it's like they kind of crossed us a couple times, or repeated something that we didn't like. Is it okay to just cut fast in that sense?
I think a part we talked about in the other segment, we talked about discernment. I think that's when you use your discernment to say, is this going to be an ongoing thing? We talked about triggers.
Yeah.
You can identify, wait a minute, is this just my trigger? Are they reminding me of somebody? Are they intentional about what they're doing? And if you sense that they're being intentional and the way that they move is intentionally to antagonize, that's where you don't have to send yourself through years.
To see. Yeah. It's just,
so I feel,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But to what she was saying, she because this is helping me. She weighed the costs. She said, are the pros pretty much better than the cons? So if you're progressing more than you're, kind of not fighting, but more than the angst, if it's more positivity more than angst, then do that. Well, in a new relationship, if it's nothing but angst, then that could be an answer. You know,
because new relationships are supposed to be the honeymoon period, even whether it's intimate or friendship.
Yeah.
That's a good point. You're right, because it is a representative sometimes, because you do want to show your best self.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you pass that, oh my God, that's a good point.
Yeah, some people come out the gate cutting up, and you can quickly tell they mean you no good.
Yeah,
and
they
it's
can't even help it.
Yeah, it's no point in sending yourself. You know how you mentioned in the last segment about people being ready for friendships? Some people not ready for friendships.
Yeah, ready.
Yeah,
Oh
sometimes I'm not ready.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just to myself. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a question. I'm actually.
Go ahead. You can go with it.
Okay, I feel like I might be a little weird asking this. Do y'all sometimes be like, okay, so with me, like I like to kind of like you, Quinn, pick people's brain, like get to know somebody. You know, if I can pour into somebody quick, you know, I will.
Yeah.
But it's like that don't mean I want to be friends. You know?
Yeah.
It just means I just want to do my part.
Yeah.
And then I want to just like.
And you want to just move on.
Yeah, but sometimes it be feeling bad because I feel like people try to attach themselves to me a lot. And I'm just like, I just don't want to expand. I just don't want friendships.
I don't think there's nothing wrong.
A lot of people to manage. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, because you feel like you have to manage. Because
but that's where
are you in business mode?
I feel like it's more so like the spiritual, you know, just purpose side of me. But I feel like that's where relational intelligence come in, because you should know if somebody is a friend or a mentee or, you know. So,
well, you can go through phases where you kind of have an alone time. You know what I mean? Yeah, go ahead.
I kind of know what she's talking about, though, because you know how you just said I'm an introvert, but I act like an extrovert. So in public, girl, I'm the life of the party. I'm carrying on. And then at the end, they're like, oh, can I get your number? I'm like, ooh.
No.
Because even now, like, she haven't met
me again.
She haven't met. It's like you could talk to her. She'd never meet a stranger. She just met you. It's like nothing, because she's easy like that. But
yeah.
But
close.
When I go away, I have to recharge.
Yeah.
And so I'm not, you know, I always said, because somebody say, you should be a life coach. I said, I'm not the life coach type. I'm the type you meet on the train and they give you good advice and you never see them again. Yeah. I'm not the type to call you every day. How you doing? What about? That would stress me out.
Yeah.
So I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's okay to set boundaries. This is who you are. You don't have to change who you are to meet. Everybody's not your assignment.
Yeah.
We got to learn that.
That is true. That is true. But to be quite honest, I feel like friendships should pour into you. So if I feel like you're a project, that's not going to be a friend for me.
You have some you pour into and some you get poured from. You have to have that balance.
And so it's not all friends. Like she said, it's mentees, they're associates, business partners, and everything.
Okay, and now I see what you're saying. So friends should be. I got you.
You can't, because my friend, like you said, when you're meeting people and they want to attach to you, you feel that burden. It's because you're looking at it because you're pouring. But when you meet somebody that you're sitting and you're receiving, you'll be quick to, like me, you and I, we have a huge age gap difference. But we just flow together and it could have been on business, but we talk about other things, and it's easy
in my
because
head, you're my mentor.
Oh, that's
because
sweet.
And my friend.
Yes.
Well, this is an example of a relationship of purpose.
Of purpose, yes.
That makes
of purpose. Because we could talk about anything. It's despite the age gap, you wouldn't know it, because we could be talking about finances here, business here, and then intimate things. You know what I mean? So when you don't feel like the person's gonna pull from you, that's probably an indicator, or your discernment picking up I can't give you my number, because you already feel that person is a project and it's gonna pull from you and deplete you. But some people have that, hey, I'm whole, you're whole. You know what I'm saying? If you call me, I'm gonna answer or go whatever. But who knows if it adds up, or if it doesn't, it's no. You know, if it doesn't, it's no offense. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because we free. When you're free, or you're whole in an area, you know, you're not looking for somebody to add to you, because you're already there. So whatever comes, It's gonna be organic, and it's gonna be easy to fit in. Look, I didn't even know I had a little spot right there. Get right there, and you just keep moving.
Yep.
A friend and I had a conversation one time because we were talking about how we easily let people go. Like when people leave our lives, we don't fight it. We'd be like, okay.
True.
And he said something so profound that I had to realize about myself too. He said, I had to realize that a lot of times I don't have an issue with people leaving my life because they don't pour into me. I've been pouring into them. So it's like getting rid of a responsibility.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're free, more free, and you allow them to go.
Because he didn't have that.
Yeah.
That you pour into me, I pour into you. It was more of I'm always giving. So yeah.
But with what you're saying, don't be easy to let the other people go. Now, and I've done that. I've done that. When I was younger, it didn't take number one thing, and boop, you was gone. Boop, you was gone. And I learned quickly that, man, I shouldn't do that. And I didn't have a second thought because I felt like that's detrimental to me. And it didn't matter all the good things. And that's what I didn't do. I didn't take that into account when I was younger. Now I'm taking into account, hey, well, what have you done? What have, but sometimes, so I just think that's going forward because it takes time to build. I don't want to, you're right, I don't want to just discard it or just let it go. I had a friendship for like 14 years and something happened positive for me. And I didn't see this coming. And I know I'm mature, but more mature, I would say, because we're always learning. I'm a lifelong learner, life learner. But when I moved into a realm, I guess this person had me in a category. When I moved into a category that almost surpassed what her, maybe, I didn't think so. I just thought, hey, I'm moving up. These, things are good for me. This is great. Where I thought she would, rejoice, because in every other time she will rejoice. This time she didn't rejoice, and it literally severed our relationship with no, I guess I didn't have I don't know what you call it. I didn't have a forewarning. It was just severed, and she just distanced herself with no explanation. And the last conversations were about the wins that I had. And so I took that hard because, not necessarily because of her, but because I didn't see that. I didn't even see that coming. And I was taken back. Not that I'm nobody, y'all. I'm no.
Yeah.
But I was just so taken back at a big age. It was like late 30s, early 40s. And
so there were no sign. Never had she behaved that way.
Not to me.
What about her communication regarding everybody else? Was there
none of that? It was a good relationship. It was a good relationship. But I will add this. It was a work relationship, but we crossed over. We flew out together. Her significant other, my significant other at the time. We did a lot of things that was outside of work. So I didn't think it was just that typical, work. It had crossed. She was Hispanic. She was Hispanic, but we thrived together. We, like at work, we were prospering together. Like we weren't in the same department, but we were both, elevating together. But when it came to a certain thing, and this was just extra homes, extra property, it just cut off because I just don't know. I can't answer why, but it literally cut off. And then I started going back to what could it have been, and I couldn't fully, because I didn't stay there. Because when people are in a mindset that's not healthy, you're in a more healthy state, you're not going to always understand it because they're coming from a flawed place. So the day I understand where they come from, maybe I'm flawed, but I don't know. But that hurt, because that was 14 years.
Do you kind of have a clue and you just don't want to accept it?
I do. I do.
Okay.
Kind of got a clue.
I just didn't want. I do, but I didn't think that would happen to me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm not one of those people that you could do that to. I didn't think.
Yeah.
But I do. So.
I was gonna say, well, you kind of answered it. I was gonna say, like, do you think it's because of the time, like the 14 years, or was it like the depth of the relationship? Like, would you consider it? I know you say y'all transitioned from work to out to real life, but would you consider it as like an intimate friendship or just like?
I honestly,
is there a
the thing I
difference?
thought it was, I kind of don't like to say stuff like that, but I think it was racism and jealousy. Almost like I'm not even prepared to go into it, honestly, because you know, you think she's like, what you gonna be jealous of? And then the racism part. So a lot of times, believe it or not, it is heavy in, you know, corporate America. Very heavy, very, very heavy. And I think they see you in a certain area, and when you're transcending and they didn't expect that, it's almost kind of like, who you think you are. And one time that did happen, it was said, like, who do you think you are? That's what I want. Because this particular place that I got, I wanted something traditional, but this time I wanted something more city, more modern, and it had a lot of space. It was fire. She said, wait a minute, that's what I like. And she said, why are you doing that? Like, who do you think you are to do? But you're this. You like this. And I was like, yeah, but I like this as well. And this opportunity just dropped in my lap. She literally got livid right there. And when she was saying, it was just spewing out. I was so taken back because I didn't expect that from her.
Because some people will support you as long as you're not on their level. And their level is according to their perspective.
According to their perspective. Right.
And they okay as long as it's
yes.
They'll cheer you on, but as soon as they feel like
right.
And they can't be over you.
Yes. And she literally said it right there. Well, who do you think you are? You don't like that. I like that. You like traditional stuff like that. That conversation, it just, because I was like mulling, I'm like, wait a minute. I did not expect that. I did not expect that.
I know that was disappointing.
It was. It was very disappointing, which goes into how, asking the question of how do you nurture those relationships to prevent loss? So the ones that are purposeful, it's tricky. But how do I nurture that as to prevent loss? I guess with that one, it just was what it was. Because you can't do anything. But for those that have proven to be good, how do you prevent loss? How do you nurture a good relationship? What is your part in that?
Self-awareness and accountability. Self-accountability.
Man.
Because as long as when you're checking yourself in a relationship and both people are checking themselves, how can you go wrong?
How can you go wrong?
What can I do better? How could I, even in a situation, because a lot of times, you know, if you feel like you're right, there's still some evaluation. What could I have done differently?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's humbling. But I love that, you know, taking accountability, So let's go to this truth segment. We're not going to do an echo chamber today. We're going straight to a truth segment. Welcome to our truth segment. You know, everybody has their own perspective, opinion, and vantage point, but there's only one truth. So let's get into it. And today I'm going to have Queen go over the truth elements that she preferred on today.
So we're going to start with Proverbs 17:17. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity.
Jeez.
That's good in itself.
Jeez.
Proverbs 27:17. Iron sharpens iron, and one man sharpeneth another. That's why we shouldn't get rid of those progressive friendships.
Good.
And Ecclesiastes 4:9-10, two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up.
Yes. I love that.
That's good stuff to me.
I love that. And so those are things that you can leave here, kind of to the point that Mo was making earlier. You hear things and they're coming from people who probably don't have a clue. They probably heard somebody else say it, but when you add a truth element to it, you know that's foundation, and those things are items that you can build upon. You can build on truth. You can build on the Word of God, and that can help you in your journey. And it's not about opinion; it's about what truth is. So build with those scriptures, and just kind of evaluate your relationships and your part in it, but also evaluate who's around you and their worthiness to stay in your life. Remember, God brought you into this world as a solution and a blessing. So don't forget to like the video and comment and engage with us. So guys, thank you again for such a good
Thank you.
episode. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. See you later.